Hey guys, it's Nikolai here. Welcome back to my Power BI learning channel. In my last video, I looked at how to use the if function. And if you remember, in one of my examples, I showed you how to use a nesting if function because there were 3 different conditions to work with. And today we will take a quick look at the switch function. So if we go back to the table I was using, the store table right here, I created company size depending on a number of employees, right? So if there were 10 or less employees, then we called it micro. If there were less than 50 people, we called it small. And if there were more than 50 people, then we called it medium. The if function is great when you're using 2-3 different conditions, right? But once you start having multiple conditions with several nesting ifs, one inside the other, and then you can have the third one inside the second one, and so forth, depending on how many conditions you have, your formula becomes really long and complicated. And in this case, I recommend, well, not I, but really all the experts recommend using the switch function. So let's create another column, but this time using the switch function instead of if. Let's name this column company size if, right? And then create another one which we're going to name company size switch. Company size switch. And instead of if, I'm going to use switch. What switch does, the switch function evaluates your expression against a list of values, and it returns one result out of multiple expressions. So in this case, together with the switch function, I will be using the true function inside of the switch function, which will show me if certain expression is true. Employee count is less or equal than 10. Then result will be micro, right? Then if employee count is less than or equal to 50, it will be small. And if not, else, right? The last value is else it will be medium. Alright? Again, what the switch function does, it compares my declared expression, which is true, right, against all the values I have written down. So if the expression matches the value, then it returns the result. And if it doesn't, it keeps moving down the list until the value is matched. Or if nothing is matched, then the formula returns the else part, the last part. In my case, this function goes to the employee count column, and it makes sure, and it looks at the number of employees. If it's less than or equal to 10, then it names it micro. If it's not, right, if it's more, then it keeps going, and then if it sees, okay, if it's 50 or less, it names it small. Otherwise, if it's more than 50, then it's medium. We have different results. All right, hold on a second. We have the wrong result because we have greater than or equal to, but it's supposed to be the other way. It has to be the other way around. It should be less than 10, and I put more than 10, right? Obviously, there's a mistake. Right now we have exactly the same result between the two columns. So the if column and the switch column, it gives you exactly the same result. And I think the switch logic is easier to understand. Maybe in this particular case, where I only have 3 conditions, it doesn't really matter as much what to use, the if or the switch. But once you get into a situation where you have, you know, a long list of conditions, then definitely it's much easier to use switch than if. Let me show you a quick example. For example, if I had less than 10, right, then we're gonna call it from 0 to 10, from 0 to 10, and then if we had here 25, right, then we will call this 11 to 25. And then let's say employee count is less than or equal to 40, then we have 26 to 40 category, and then else 40 plus, right? Yes. Oh no, hold on a second. I forgot to put the, I forgot to close that stuff. Hold on a second. 40 plus and one more bracket. There we go. If I had to use if in this situation, then the formula will get unnecessarily complicated. Alright guys, that's it for today. I showed you how to use the switch and true functions instead of nesting ifs. If you have multiple logical conditions, then I recommend using switch instead of if. And I will see you guys next week. Until then, take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too. Bye.